I regret buying the PlayStation 5. Here's why. So, obviously, I don't like regret it in the senses that I wish I didn't get it. I just wish I didn't get it day one. The only game that's came out for it that I've actually liked has been Ratchet and Clank, which of course Ratchet and Clank's a great game. No one's gonna deny that, and you definitely should buy a PlayStation 5 to play it. But I wish I didn't get it so quickly because all I've done for this generation is I've gotten all my games on the Xbox Series X. And why is that? It simply comes down to hardware. The PlayStation 5 is a very weak console. It's an Xbox One X with ray tracing and an SSD. But the SSD is handicapped by the weak hardware, which is why you see games on the Xbox Series X loading in significantly faster than the PlayStation 5, because even though its SSD is weaker, its hardware is much more powerful, which makes it happen faster, if that makes sense. So like, I regret getting the PlayStation 5 in the sense that I should not have gotten it day one. It literally is just sitting back there, just collecting dust, and it's like, why? Just, why did I buy this? I've not touched it since Ratchet and Clank came out. That's how long it's been since I played it. And I'm okay with that. For example, I'm going to continue playing all my, big AAA games on the Xbox Series X, but I also just got the OLED Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is obviously better than both consoles. If, ideally, in a perfect, holy matrimony world, there's a version of the Nintendo Switch that is as powerful as the Xbox Series X, and I would have never even bought an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 in the first place. Everything I would play would just be here on the Nintendo Switch. But, of course, it's Nintendo, so that's not gonna happen. But I wish I had waited so much longer on the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 has been a okay console if you didn't have an Xbox console last generation. But if you did have an Xbox One X last generation, then you don't feel impressed by it. It's still just the same console as it's always been. And it's just the same experience as it's always been. Just you've lost like all the features. And that's been one of my main complaints actually with the Xbox Series X. It's one of my few complaints about it. Everything is just kind of the old Xbox One X, but in a more modernized twist. Like, our UI is the same, it's faster. The store is kind of the same, it's faster. Your game library is the exact same, but faster. So it's like, all you got was a speed and power boost, which is a huge power boost. Games are starting to look like real life. Like, so many games are at 4K 120 on the Xbox, while it's at 1440p 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5. That's just how it is, and I'm sure PlayStation's scrambling to get a Pro out, but with all the restrictions right now, that's gonna be difficult. I feel like things are gonna not stay this way though. I feel like once the PlayStation 5 Pro comes out, as long as it's better than whatever the Xbox Series, whatever 5000 Pro Blacklist Demetrius the Third, whatever they're gonna call it, once that comes out, as long as the PlayStation 5 is more powerful than it, then I'm of course going to be jumping right back into PlayStation. I just really like power so much more than anything else. As I say, as the Switch is my main console and it's the weakest of everything that's out right now. But it's just a thing for me. Like, for example, look back there, my television. It's a 4K 65-inch 120 compatible Samsung Smart TV. I like having as much power as I possibly can. My MacBook is the M1 MacBook Pro with everything maxed out. I won't be caught dead using a Windows computer because they're just so much slower. I don't understand why we attach ourselves to, brands and corporations. Like, I'm obviously just gonna go wherever's more powerful. If tomorrow, a Linux-based laptop came out and it blew the MacBooks out of the water, I would go to it and not even think twice about returning to the MacBook. Same with televisions. If they were to start making televisions that aren't Samsung, that are better than Samsung, I would leave Samsung and not even think about it. And same with all this other stuff. If there could be a handheld that comes out that is better than the Nintendo Switch, that has better games and better first-party support than the Nintendo Switch, I would hop over to it. Unfortunately, there's nobody in the space for probably the next 5 to 10 years, unless Sony decides to jump back into the space, but they probably won't. So it's just kind of a thing for me. I regret getting the PlayStation 5 because I wish I had waited until there was more to play on it. Like I said, only Ratchet and Clank is all I've gotten on it. Everything else I could have played on the PlayStation 4. I wish I had waited until minimum like late 2022, early 2023, so that I could have guided, enjoyed it, and played it, all while having the beautiful holy matrimony of being able to play a new game on it for like a solid month and a half and get so happy, so hyped, and so many experiences. Where right now it's just, I'm just here. It's kind of the same feeling I had when I got the Nintendo Switch on the first couple months once it came out. I got it in, I think it was like September 8th of 2017 is when I got it. I remember the school semester just started. I got my financial aid, and instead of buying books like a good student, I bought a Nintendo Switch, Breath of the Wild, and FIFA 17. No, FIFA 18, I think it was. Yeah, it was FIFA 18. It would have had it been FIFA 18. That's what I got, and I enjoyed it. I loved it, and you know, there was no games, and that sucked because for so long on it, I went through just playing the same thing. I ultimately got Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart for Christmas and my birthday, which were in November and December. But then after that, it was like a game here and there for like a year and a half. And then, it wasn't until like late 2018, early 2019, when things really started, pumping up and we started getting games like crazy for it. And I think that's going to be what happens here with the PlayStation 5. I think the PlayStation 5 is going to be a late blossomer. So I wish I had waited until, things really, really picked up. And with that being said, though, what about you? Do you regret getting the PlayStation 5? Are you even able to get the PlayStation 5 yet? Or are you doing what I should have done and waited for more games to come out? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.